the commitment level 1 is created by the operational initiating agent within the action. It is in fact available within the budget envelope inside the master view. As we said before, the commitment level 1 comes with a certain reference number indicated with a JAD code. We call it simply the JAD number. We can click on the JAD number inside the master view of the budget envelope to enter the commitment level 1. We said already before that upon creation, a commitment level 1 has to be launched in the workflow so that it is prepared for the first step of validation, which is the one granted by the operational initiating agent. Now, before doing that, the operational initiating agent goes in the synopsis of the commitment level 1 and adds the missing information, amongst other, the applicable regulation and the final date for contracting the individual legal commitment, which is the expression of the D+3 for a financing agreement or the N+1 for a commitment without a financing agreement. Then the next step is to go inside the position section to associate the JAD to the budget line by creating a budget position. Once that is done, the moment is then come, assuming that the action has reached the status ready for adoption, to launch the workflow of the commitment level 1. An interesting element to check the status of the JAD is to do a copy-paste of the JAD reference in the process center. I expand my left My Workplace menu to reach the process center, and I will do a paste of the reference number of the JAD which I've copied before. Upon introduction of this reference, the system is going to deliver the process and the active task this commitment level 1 reference is waiting for. And as you can see, right now, we can see that the active task waiting for an action is the authorizing officer validation. The task has been created on the 25th of May 2022, and it hasn't been claimed until now. Let's click on the commitment reference to have a look at the process center and what useful information we can derive from that. For example, we have a history button allowing us to go through the global history of this commitment level 1 in its workflow from inception or creation until the very last available step. And as you can see, those steps in the metro line with the green circle are the steps which have been granted and validated already. And as you can see, the yellow circle indicates that this commitment level 1 is waiting for the authorizing officer validation in the workflow. Notice how we have an operational initiation, an operational verification, a financial initiation, a financial verification, followed, of course, by the authorizing officer validation, which still generates a task in OPSIS, but will then also generate a transaction in a BAC. Another important element that we can use to assess the situation of a specific commitment level 1 is to click on the metro line from the navigation menu. We're going to have a reproduction of the same workflow dedicated to the commitment level 1 with different steps. The pin, visible here, indicates where this commitment level 1 is at. In other words, what type of validation it is waiting in the workflow. And as you can see, we have the pin over the authorizing officer's signature or validation, which will then correspond to the approval status of the commitment level 1.